Oh.
What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great day today. Bitcoin is pumping. It pumped on the news of the 75 basis point raise, and actually my dad reached out to me and he said, hey, but I thought when they raise rates, that's a bad thing. Well, the reason that we saw the pump is because that is what we were actually expecting, and the one thing that traders hate the most and investors hate the most is uncertainty, right? So because it's what we were expecting, actually it turned out to be good news, even though it's really not, right? But that's just the tip of the iceberg, because some people are saying, you know what? Maybe this is just a fake out rally. This is just a sucker's rally, right? What if? Well, I got some charts that I want to show you guys. There's one chart in particular that I've never shown on this channel yet that is doing something that every single time it's previously done has at least sparked a small reversal for Bitcoin. So we're going to dive into that. And another thing I want to talk about is the dollar bull run finally over? Because we may finally have broken the parabolic trend. So lots of things we're going to talk about, and also the next 3 days could possibly be the most critical for Bitcoin. So we're going to go over all this. We're going to talk about the charts. I'll let you know what we're doing. You guys can see right here, we're already touching this level right here. So is that it for the rally? What could be next? So definitely stick around, get subscribed if you haven't. We're going to have a fun video today. I'm going to try to keep it a little bit shorter. So let's just start with what happened in the news today so far. So we do have the U.S. economy in a technical recession, right? Because we did have Q2 GDP falling at a 0.9% annualized rate. And you can see that this was pointed out on this chart over here. And Warren Davidson, I really like this guy. He says the Federal Reserve has hundreds of economists who apparently cannot identify the cause of inflation or the presence of a recession. Apparently Secretary Yellen cannot either. Why are these people on America's payroll? And remember, I showed you a few videos ago, they actually changed the definition of a recession to avoid being in a recession. It's really just turning into quite a circus, if you ask me. But that is the world that we're living in, guys. And yes, I think the markets are kind of pricing in some of this, but it's almost like when we had the inflation, they were saying, oh no, we're not having bad inflation. Then inflation got out of control. Then they lied about the numbers. They took the, charts down. It's probably up around 20%, but they restructured it so it's only 9%, right, CPI. And now we're not in a recession because we've restructured the definition of what a recession is. So absolute madness, but nevertheless, we will continue to monitor the situation. But remember, the FOMC is not meeting for 2 months now, which is why I said there was a possibility of having that rally. So getting into the charts, guys, you can see that currently we are in fact hitting the resistance right here at around 24,000. Now, this is the second time that we're revisiting this area. The first time, you guys remember, we opened our trades down here. I closed up here and I redeployed some of the capital right here because we were on the heart line. We had a literal perfect bounce off that level. If you guys were watching, congratulations if you were able to actually take that trade. But the only downside being that I didn't actually put more because I thought there may have been that potential that we retested this upward sloping trend, and that is still a possibility if we don't break through this level. But if Bitcoin is actually going to confirm above 24,000, then I do believe that we're coming here to this Terra Luna wick level, and that could bring Bitcoin very, very quickly to $26,600. You see how fast the price can start moving once it gets going, right? And another thing is that we still have the CME futures gap up here at around $28,885, and we know that all gaps eventually get closed. This one could be closed within this next multi-month rally. But this is what we need to pay attention to. This is what I'm looking at right now. These two intersecting trend lines or spider lines, whatever you want to call them, right? These are probably going to be the make or break explosive levels for Bitcoin, right? So you could see right here when we started to hit this area, that's when I said, okay, I think Bitcoin was a little overextended. And look at this. We did have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days down. We had this little green candle in there. But look at what we're doing again. If I zoom in right here, look at where we are hitting this. I have not moved this trend line, guys. That was a perfect test right there. So if Bitcoin is able to break through this, then it also has to get through this downward sloping resistance right here. And if it's actually able to break through the both of them, then I think that's when you could see some of those crazy explosive moves, maybe even attempt to retest this downward sloping major macro historic trend line right there. So, but we have to keep our eyes on it. You know, like I said, guys, get subscribed to the channel. We're going to be going over this, but I think if we can break these levels right here, confirm, I think it's going to be fireworks for Bitcoin. Not saying we're going on a bull run, you know, for the rest of the year or whatever, but I am saying you could see Bitcoin rallying for at least the next 2 months up to some of these levels, maybe even trying to get back up to around that $30,000 level. So obviously, if you guys do want to trade, make sure that you check out BitGet. And by the way, guys, I finally got my video out yesterday. If you haven't seen it, I uploaded it last night. I have my full comprehensive BitGet tutorial, start to finish, beginner to expert, US friendly, 20 Bitcoin withdrawal daily. So check it out, guys. In my opinion, I think it's the best tutorial on BitGet on the internet personally, but that's just me. I put a lot of time and effort into it, so make sure that you check that out. The tutorial is actually popping up above, and there are links below. And do remember, guys, that we have an additional bonus as Crypto Zombie subscribers. So not only do you get the 4,000, but you can get an extra $2,725, I believe it is, for using the link below in the description. So thank you again, guys. You are awesome. I do appreciate that. You are helping to support the channel, but you also get an extra bonus as well. So hopefully it's a win-win for everybody on that. But getting back to the chart, so not going to harp on it. We know we got the pi cycle indicator. Cross that off the list. We also have upward sloping trend on the weekly. We are putting in a higher high and a higher low trend on the weekly, which is good because weekly to monthly, those are the macros that we look for. Also right here, we have the RSI. Now remember, the RSI down here on the monthly, this level right here, when we tend to get above this 50 on the monthly, you start to see us really curving into the full-on bull run. Now, we're not anywhere near that yet. We're down around 44. We still have a little bit more to go, so that's something we need to pay attention to. But this is why the next 3 days are so important for Bitcoin, because we're going to finally close this monthly candle. Now, this monthly candle, if we can close it above the 50 moving average, which is sitting at around 21,600, which I don't see why Bitcoin can't stay around those levels for the next 3 days, then that would show us that we are back in this band again. And even better than that would be if we could get above the lower band of the EMA ribbon. That's sitting around 24,500. So we're pretty close to that level right now, guys. We may be able to do that. And if we can close above both of these moving averages, and on top of that, that would put us above the 200 weekly moving average, which is only at 22,795, then that puts us above all of our major averages that we need to be above. That would be really good for Bitcoin. I'm not saying that it would be the ultimate bull run, Kickstarter, but that would be really good to help us potentially confirm that the bottom may actually be in, which a lot of signs are pointing to it, right? We've had the minor capitulation. We've had the moving averages crossing. We've had the pi cycle indicator. And one more that I've never shown you on this channel before. This is over on Glassnode. And this is called the Bitcoin Realized Price. And, you could see historically here, it tends that when Bitcoin, really gets below this band, it usually kind of clunks around sideways and goes into a lengthy bear market for a little bit of time, right? Well, if I zoom in to just right here, I don't know if you guys can see this, but you can see that basically once we get above this line, you see once we broke above it right here, we skyrocketed. Bitcoin started the major run. Same thing right here with the COVID crash, if you really want to count that, although that's a bit of a black swan event. But if I zoom in right here, actually, let me see if I could just make this bigger. I hate that it's on I wish that I could put this chart on the left side, but I can't, so it's like above my head right now. But you guys can see that right here, we've been dancing. We've been dancing with this line. And if we do have this breakout and start moving violently to the upside, this could also be another indicator that the Bitcoin bottom is in, okay? And another thing I wanted to talk about was we were mentioning this parabolic curve for the DXY. The dollar has been on a bull run arguably ever since around June of last year. Now, if we come up here, we're noticing that there may be a potential that we will end up moving downwards. Look at this red candle right here. We finally had a day where we closed, or below or on, depending on how you draw your trend line, a little arbitrary, right? But that's why I'm saying let's give it another day or two, maybe another week. And if we stay below this, then that confirms that we have officially broken this parabolic trend, and the dollar could start reversing back down again to its previous resistance at around 100, right? So that would be a good rally for risk assets for Bitcoin. And this is why I'm saying you could see a potential mini little bull cycle maybe for the next couple months. Now, this isn't to say that we're not going to have pullbacks. We're going to have pullbacks. Nothing goes straight up forever. But, for example, 2 months from now, we could potentially have a $35,000 Bitcoin or something like that, right? That's basically what I'm trying to say. Now, not everybody agrees with that. Scott Menard over at Guggenheim Partners, he thinks that Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are going to continue to fall. He says, I think it's going to deflate further, and I think we're going to have something akin to the collapse of the internet bubble to have a chance to sort out who all the winners are and who are the losers. I don't think we've fully flushed out the system yet. Now, I do have a few comments on this. Number one, I just want to get back to this chart I showed you guys yesterday from Arcane Research. These are all the Bitcoins that have been liquidated by large known entities. Luna Foundation alone, 80,393 Bitcoin. I don't even know what that is. I can't do the math in my head right now. That's a lot of Bitcoin, though. You have Tesla, 29,000. Purpose Bitcoin ETF, 24,000. Three Arrows Capital, 22,000, okay? Celsius, 21,000. So you could see that we have seen some form of capitulation, in my opinion, because these guys are liquidating their assets. So that's been happening. We've seen altcoins crashing to 99% or more, right? Some of them are down 99.9 repeating percent. Some of them got absolutely slaughtered. So that's not a flush out. That's not capitulation. I think that there has been a lot. And if you look at the data statistically, we are actually having worse signals, more bearish, showing more pain, I should say, more capitulation than what we saw in 2018. And I've gone over this in multiple different sets of data points that we've used on this channel. So I do think that people have felt the pain. I do think that we have had capitulation, but then again, macro factors, right? They lied about inflation. And then when inflation got insanely out of control, then, they decided to just come in with this crazy hawkish raising of rates way too fast, screwed everything up, messed the markets up big time. And now they're basically lying about a recession, right? So maybe we are in a recession right now. And then what's going to happen once we actually enter into like a true stagflation or full on depression? Then maybe they'll say we're in a recession. So obviously, things are not great right now, but at the end of the day, as Bitcoin does continue to grow, as it does continue to spread throughout the world, it is definitely where I place my money. But obviously right now, for example, earnings that came in from Meta, Facebook, whatever. I don't like the name Meta. I still like calling them Facebook. Meta is just, I don't know, it's like weird, but like they're called Meta now, I guess. So they had a bad announcement. They reported that their Reality Labs, which focuses on metaverse, lost $2.81 billion, and the division's year to loss is a whopping $5.78 billion. It's the first time that the social media giant has experienced a massive drop in annual income. So this could still, these earnings reports coming out, they could still affect some of the stocks, things of that nature. But I still do personally think that, we should see Bitcoin. I think we could still have that rally over the next couple months, personally. But obviously we'll have pullbacks. I just don't see us putting in a lower low in the next few months. I don't see us going below that 17,000 whatever dollar it was level that we hit. But I do want to end on a good note today and get on out of here. So in an interview with Cointelegraph, you had Albert Isola, the Minister for Digital and Financial Services for Her Majesty's Government of Gibraltar, explaining the territory's approach to crypto and shedding some light on his personal investments. He says, I do have Bitcoin. I'm not at the stage yet where it's something that I'd use on a regular basis. It's more about buying some for the benefit of my kids in the years to come. I don't touch it. While spending Bitcoin at one of the Costa coffees that does now accept Bitcoin in Gibraltar might not be his thing, he did explain that adoption of Bitcoin is going to increase as more and more jurisdictions continue to regulate it. So make sure you guys get subscribed. Make sure you check out these videos. As you can see right here, we are attempting to break through this level. So actually, if you guys want the exact level right now, because I know some people are driving in their cars, so the exact level that we need to break above right here is about $23,630. So if we have Bitcoin break and hold above $23,628, especially by the end of this month, then yeah, I think Bitcoin is going to go on a couple months of a little bit of a relief rally. That's my opinion. I'm just a crazy guy on the internet. Don't listen to me. What do I know what I'm talking about? Let me know what you think. Let me know what you guys also think about the DXY. Do you think that we're finally going to break this parabola, or do you think that this is just, the aftermath of what's going on, and, Yellen's going to come out today and she's going to say we're not in a recession, and I don't know, everything's going to be totally perfect and whatever. I don't know what's going on with that. But anyway, guys, thanks for coming back to the channel. You guys rock. The reason that I make these videos, again, make sure that you do check out my BitGet tutorial. I put a lot of work into it. It was a lot of time and effort for it. It is literally almost 43 minutes long, fully comprehensive. Even if you're not interested, just go check the video out, maybe slap a like on it. Like I said, it was a lot of effort I put into making that. And yeah, if you haven't gotten subscribed to the channel, and if you do want to join BitGet and trade, use the link below in the description if you want to get those extra bonuses. So that's it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel. You guys rock. You're the reason that I do this every single day. Make sure that you watch this video popping up right here, right now. My name's K-Dub. This is Crypto Zombie. Until next time, stay crypto. And of course, peace out.